Hey, if you're running your applications on top of cloud infrastructure, I'm sure you and we share the same concerns. Are we using cloud infrastructure in a way that we're not overpaying for things? And are there opportunities for us to actually improve our cloud infrastructure costs? We had the same problem here at Raia, and we use Raia AI agents to help us run FinOps operations for our cloud operations. And I want to show you in this short video how you can do that yourself today. If we come to Raya's dashboard, I'm now in the connectors page. Basically, this is where you're gonna give Raya AI agents access to your underlying systems. I'll use AWS as the example. I have configured an AWS connection for my agent directly from here, and now my Raya agent is connected to AWS. The quickest way for you to address and get value from a FinOps agent in your organization is to come to Marketplace, and I have one agent called, or an agentic workflow called AWS FinOps. That's the one that I've created, and we use at Raya ourselves to basically manage our AWS cloud infrastructure usage. You can just import that directly from here, and once you import it, if you come into Automate, you're going to see that it creates one agent called FinOps, and then it gives it an agentic workflow called AWS FinOps. What it's actually doing is it's using several AWS agents to basically go through your infrastructure. In this case, I have one look at spend analysis, basically your cost for this month, last month, and the last 3 months, and giving a breakdown of cost by region. I have another agent that looks at a cost anomaly, for example, to try to identify based on the last 3 months if there are any spike in costs, right? And try to identify what happened that caused this cost. I have an agent that is creating a chart, for example, for me to understand the costs broken down by region, for example, or service. And the one that is looking at anomaly, for example, I have one doing cost forecast. So based on my last 3 months and the current month utilization, where are my costs going to go over the next 6 months, for example? And if there are any anomalies, basically it creates me a result showing, okay, these are the services that are creating the anomaly, the instances that are causing this, and what to do to fix it. I could very well extend this and add a Jira ticket here, for example, and say, hey, Raia agent, I want you to create a Jira ticket and assign this to Bruno. Or I wanted to send this to an email, for example, or I want to send this to Slack, right? And you can send this to Slack in any different way. You can send it the charts or what have you. And the great thing about it is that you can see all of the prompts that your agents are using in AWS and basically the results that are generating directly here as well. So you can validate it before you start distributing it on Jira tickets, Slack messages, email, or so on. And once you validate this, you can basically come in here and schedule this agentic workflow to run every day or every week, for example. So you make sure that there are no anomalies that happen over the last week, and you can keep your controls in check. Another one that you can import from the marketplace as well is the FinOps engineering. So same way, you're using AWS agents to basically give you a service breakdown and utilization of resources. So it maps all the EC2, RDS, S3, and so on, and EBS, for example, and looks for resources that are low in utilization. So in this case, for example, we're looking for EC2 machines that have less than 40% utilization. And based on that utilization over the last period, for example, it gives you opportunities to resize your instances. Same thing, you can send this in a report to your team or a Slack message and continue the conversation directly from there. Awesome. Last but not least is basically looking at the dashboards that you can build, which is also part of the marketplace offering. So those are agentic dashboards that you can use. I have one called AWS Engineering FinOps. It's looking at the costs that we mentioned before and the instances that we have running in clusters. And here I have one that mapping EC2 with low utilization in the US West region and the EU West regions as well. And because those are powered by agents, you can come here and drill through the data and say, give me details of this instance, and you can keep the conversation directly going from here. Same thing for your finance team. I have one called AWS FinOps, which is also available in the marketplace that you can give as access to your FinOps or your finance team so they can understand all the cost trend, the trend by quarter, by service, the top 10 cost drivers in this case, and how they compare last month with this month. So your finance team, they can have direct access and analysis from here. And again, because it's powered by AI agents, they can come in here and drill through the data and say which services are using this, what caused this cost, what changes, right? And how do we go from here? So finance team can get all the information and answers they need directly from here. This is something that we use ourselves, and we've used Raya to reduce almost 50% of our own cloud costs. And I hope this is helpful to give you an idea of how you can use agents to run your cloud operations or your FinOps operations. Thank you.